Mr. Chair, before I start with the specific questions, I just have a comment with your presentation, Senator Trillanes, no? Because while you were making the presentation, kanina ko pa gusto ma-interrupt sana kasi most of your the information that you gave were actually available already in open sources, no? Like newspaper clippings and the affidavits of persons. And in fact, it appears nga na parang you were just making a summary of everything that you found from newspaper articles to the affidavits of other resource persons. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And the difficulty kasi in asking you questions about it is that because your statements are going to be based on either an article or the affidavit of another person. And the rule supposedly is that it's best to ask the person who executed the affidavit or the person who made the news article, 'di ba? Kasi parang maging double hearsay na tuloy yung sitwasyon ngayon, 'di ba?
Yes, Mr.
And
Chairman.
I hope you understand why I'm saying this, because in the spirit of fair play din sana, it would give the other persons who have been named in the affidavit and in the news articles also the opportunity to confront the persons who actually made the affidavit.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Sa nakita nyo po, no, since hindi naman po tayo nasa court of law, the way I presented everything, ito yung resulta ng investigation, no, when I was still in the Senate, and nagkalap kami ng intelligence information, yan, open sources, tapos insider information. Then that was very critical. Before namin nakausap si Las Cañas, all of us were susceptible in embracing or swallowing the false narrative of Duterte na talagang galit siya sa droga. And the way he delivers these things, very emphatic na talagang parang kapanipaniwala na galit talaga. But then, here's an insider guy who came up with all of this information. Talagang nag-iba yung paradigm. And ang difficulty namin at that time was how to communicate this new paradigm to the general public, because at that time, talagang kontrolado nila yung buong communications apparatus, and yun po ang difficulty.
You are referring to Art Las Cañas.
Yes, opo.
Well, the issue I have with Art Las Cañas din kasi, kasi when he first appeared before the Senate ba yun?
Yes.
He was saying a different thing. In fact, he
Yes.
was defending then President Duterte. It was only a few months after where he recanted and made another statement about the involvement of then President Duterte about drugs.
Opo.
And every time kasi we present a witness na parang says something and then does another thing,
Yeah.
medyo kami din ang natatamaan dyan 'di ba? Kasi it's parang coming from a tainted source. That's why I hope you understand my sentiments po, because I always want to protect also the integrity of this committee. That's why I'm bringing these issues up, no? Kasi while I was listening to you kanina, it's either Art Las Cañas, Asierto, or the other newspaper articles ang basis ng ano. I was really hoping that you could have given us more concrete siguro evidence po on what actually to support the allegations made by Las Cañas.
Okay. I totally agree, no? Especially coming from lawyers, very strict yung discipline nila about witnesses recanting. But as ano po, no, as a non-lawyer, in my case, when I was still a cadet, I was the chairman of this honor committee. Talagang we do investigative work, and we profile the subjects, demeanor. So, na-acquire ito when I was in the Navy as an investigation officer. Nakikita mo you'll be able to know whether somebody is lying and somebody is telling the truth, no? Pwedeng matest po yan in so many ways, mabibet. Pero po yung ano ho, yung paglalay at the first instance, depende po sa circumstances. When they are fearful of their own lives, it is totally understandable. At pero dito po, ang nangyari sa kanya, talagang he risked everything eh. Kumbaga hindi ako makapaniwala nung unang sinabing babaliktad si Las Cañas because doon sa first appearance niya sa Senate, talagang matindi talaga, hardcore siya. Pero kaya binet muna namin. First few, baka mapapatibong kami. Pero yun na eh. Talagang parang ayaw niya na. He doesn't want to be burdened by all of these people he killed. So yun na, he was out for redemption.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. I just made that observation kasi I just want, of course, the Quadcom to be above the suspicion ba na we're just allowing statements like that to be coming out from resource persons. Now, with regards to Michael Yang po, when Acerto was making his allegations about Michael Yang, he said that the very first information he got about Michael Yang was about the Dumoy laboratory. And in that Dumoy laboratory, parang ang role lang ni Michael Yang at that time was supposedly securing the precursors.
Yes.
Pero meaning he's not really involved in the manufacturing of drugs, but securing resources that are needed to manufacture these things. Parang negosyante lang na may pinagkakakitaan. Tama po ba? Was that confirmed by your research po?
If you will only take the information from Colonel Acerto, then that's the conclusion that you'll get. But in our case, nakuha na namin yung initially yung bank documents, Mr. Chairman, nandoon na yung Sami Uy. Nung lumabas yun, hinahanap namin ano kaya itong pumapasok na pera na ito from government coffers or illegal mining activities, kung ano-ano. But eventually, nung si Las Cañas pumasok, and we got him around January of 2017 eh. A few months before the appearance of Colonel Acerto. So by then, nakita na namin from the new paradigm itong mga information na to. Kaya nag-fit ho siya dun sa buong narrative.
So Michael Yang and Alan Lim and sino po yung isa na
Si Charlie Tan, Sami Uy.
Charlie Tan,
Ayun
Sami
po.
Uy. Now, si Alan Lim naman, ang relations niya with Michael Yang, where did it start ba? Saan nagsimula yung connections nila?
Apparently, since hindi alam ni Las Cañas, si Alan Lim vaguely pumupunta lang daw a few times sa Davao. So kumuha kami ng other sources of information from the whether domestic law enforcers or foreign law enforcers. Itong si Alan Lim, apparently mas senior siya kay Michael Yang at that time. Parang junior itong si Michael Yang. Mas senior pa yung kanyang kapatid na si Tony Yang. May sila eh. Meron silang seniority dun sa kanilang triad. So Peter Lim is also a big player. So sa Visayas, itong si Peter Lim, si Alan Lim doon naman sa Luzon. That's the picture we got from the people we talked to. Tapos pero si Michael Yang naka-jackpot siya eh, kasi yung connection niya with Duterte nag-pay off when he became president, kaya na-elevate siya, na fast track yung kanyang promotion doon sa kanyang organization. Ganun po 'yun.
Now, if you're saying na Michael Yang was using his siguro closeness with the former president to further his drug interest, why would he be content with just being economic advisor? Why not ask for a different position which would give him siguro more access to whatever he's doing, di ba? But that's a question that most people would say. Di ba kung involved siya sa drugs, bakit economic advisor lang ginawa? Wala naman niyang benefit to his business.
ito po yung benefit nun. Unang-una, he cannot be given a regular cabinet position because he is a Chinese national. No? So, yan yon. Yung economic advisor is just a title to project to the whole bureaucracy na ano ito, malakas itong tao na ito. That's going to afford him the protection that that he needs, no? Yung connection do sa network kasi binabout siya. And yung pinag-uusapan kung paano nag-pay off yung kanyang closeness, dun sa family issue, yun po, di ba, lumabas. Kahit nasa labas siya, ang dami niya nakuhang kontrata because of that connection. At hindi pa po na may mention dito yung kinita nila dun sa Sinovac, no? Dun sa Sinovac, based dun sa mga nakuha naming dokumento, ay ano po yan, na-overprice niya ng 2,000 pesos per vial at bumili sila ng 50 million vials. So that's 100 billion pesos, no? Yun po ang pinakamalaking racket nila na nakuha because of that connection and protection, Mr. Chairman.
Now, you also testified earlier na Sammy Uy, no, was the one who introduced Michael Yang to the president. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. President.
Now, Sammy Uy is known to be close to the president even when he was still mayor pa.
Yes.
But for not about ako, I know that it wasn't about drugs na ang association niya with the Dutertes. Paano naging biglang all of a sudden naging drugs to na angle na kung isipin natin it should have started way before kung yun man ang original intention ni Sammy Uy, di ba? Kasi he was already close to the president when the president was still mayor of Davao eh.
Yes, and it did start way before. According dun sa interview ni Las Cañas, nag-start po silang tatlo mag-engage kay Duterte noong 2001. At major campaign contributor sila noong una. Tapos, ito na nga. Sabi ko nga, yung pag-profile kasi kay Las Cañas as an insider, as an inside man, it's either you will believe everything or you don't believe anything. Di ba? So, kaya nung una naming binebet ito si Las Cañas, we were validating everything. Kumbaga, ano bang motivation itong mamang ito? At I think if it's one skill set that we have is yun pong pagbe-vet, pagba-background check. So nakikita po namin yung mga motivations. And sinabi po niya ako ho, without you take out Las Cañas, pag nakita mo yung cover ni Sammy Uy, talagang maganda Maganda ho Kaso sinabi ni Las Cañas, and before that, nakuha po namin, Mr. Chairman, yung bank documents. Ando doon siya Bakit siya nagbibigay ng 40 to 50 million dun sa 5 members of the family every 6 months? Ano yon? Anong kalasing business po yan? Tapos marami pa pong eventually kung in an impeachment court, hypothetically, lalabas po yan. Kung kanino galing pumapasok po yan. At ang blunder po ni Duterte, ginawa ho niyang joint account sila ni Sara So, ano po ito? Lumabas po doon.
Pero you would agree with me, Senator, na there's nothing wrong naman in making political contributions to campaigns, di ba? I mean, a lot of businessmen do that, di ba? For as long as it is properly reported in your statements of contribution expenditures, okay lang yan, di ba?
Okay lang po yan, Mr. Chairman, kung hindi mo alam. Kunyari ngayon, napag-uusapan na si Michael Yang as a drug lord. Would you accept a campaign contribution from Michael Yang? I don't think so. Siguro before, pag hindi mo pakilala, you'd be forgiven for that Alam niyo naman po, tayong mga politiko, pag may lumapit o gusto kong tumulong sa campaign mo, hindi naman tayo magche-check sa narco list o kung ano-ano. Di ba ho? We take these gestures at face value na they just want to help us. So, ganun po yan.
Okay, now, pwede na, kasi ito di ba? Asierto first came out with Michael Yang in after 2016 na eh.
Yes.
Di ba? When Duterte was already president. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr.
So,
Chairman.
I mean, if I was the president, I would still have accepted the donations prior to that. Kasi
Yes.
hindi pa lumulutang yung pangalan niya at that time, eh, di ba?
Yes, Mr.
So
Chairman.
there was nothing wrong with it at
There's
that
nothing
time.
wrong. There's
no?
nothing wrong.
So as far as contributions are concerned, then probably there was a valid excuse for the president to accept it because at that time, supposedly, hindi pa lumalabas yung pangalan ni Michael Yang as someone who is linked to the drug trade. Tama po ba?
I totally agree, Mr. Chairman. Kaya ko lang naman nilabas yung SOSE because dito lumabas yung pangalan na talagang close sila. So, at that particular moment, and I agree with you, Mr. Chairman, walang problema pa. But in hindsight, may problema na. Ibig sabihin nun, yung sinasabi nilang narco politician, yun na. Because Duterte knew about Sammy Uy's involvement in illegal drugs and siyang pumopondo. Yon kinorroborate yun ni Mr. Las Cañas noong 2001, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, now, would it also be possible, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, Senator,
Yeah,
forgive
po.
me.
Yes.
Would it also be possible na, let's say, people close to the president vetted him and said he's okay? Meaning, the president did not have to go further from what the people surrounding him were saying. Example, like, cleared yan, okay yan, hindi yan associated with drugs. Pwede din po ba na he would rely on the word of those who are closest to him na hindi yan involved in drugs?
Yun na nga po, no? Assuming the best of Duterte, probably that would be the case. Pero we have profiled the guy and in assuming the worst of him, minsan ini-exceed pa niya, no? Pero ito po, yung kay sino to? Kay Sammy Uy and kay Michael Yang, in-inform na ni Colonel Asierto. Kumbaga, out of sense of duty, no? Sabihin na nating naive si Colonel Asierto because he believed yung narrative. Namigay talaga siya ng report hoping to precisely yung sinasabi nyo, Mr. Chairman, na ma-clear siya, yung baka hindi alam nung nagki-clear sa kanya na okay yan. Kaso baliktad yung reaction niya eh. Kung totoong he had nothing to do with Mr. Yang, ang gagawin niya nung nakita niya yon, first thing toxic yan, ilayo nyo yan sa akin. Or, kung talagang pinapapatay niya yung mga drug lords, dapat napatay na po yun. Yun po, Mr. Chairman.
Now, earlier din, when AMLAC was here, AMLAC said that the documents did not come from them.
Yes.
Yung pinesent mong bank documents. But in earlier public pronouncements that were also made or also linked to you, you also said that it was AMLAC who gave you access to these documents.
No, wala po akong sinabing gano'n, Mr. Chairman, kasi that would be illegal. No, that would be illegal. So, ang sinabi ko po, merong nagbigay sa akin ng mga dokumento na yon at chinek po namin in our own ways. So, when we validated it, ginamit namin. I used it as evidence to file a plunder case against Duterte. At yung investigation na yon ng Ombudsman, validated yung documents. Kaya po nung sinabi ko kanina, yung open source, sabi po ng Ombudsman, yun pong nakuha nila na dokumento sa AMLAC matches the contents of my document.
Is this si Karandang ba yun?
Yes, Mr.
binabanggit
Chairman.
mo?
Opo.
And he was removed, is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
But then he was removed for other reasons din, Senator Trillanes, di ba?
Hindi po. Kasi the primary reason is iniimbestigahan niya si Duterte and they were gaining some headway dun sa investigation na yun and Duterte needed to stop him from investigating, Mr. Chairman.
Did we invite former Deputy Ombudsman Karandang to share? Hindi. But he was invited. Anyway, thank you, Senator Trillanes. DG Villanueva, I'll give you an opportunity because your name was mentioned earlier by the senator, di ba? Na you were supposedly, you had a big role actually in suppressing the information from coming out, especially linking Michael Yang and other personalities po. What is your comment to that, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving me the opportunity. Hearing what Mr. Las Cañas and Mr. Trillanes narratives, seemingly they were lousy storytellers. Una-una, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I take exception dun sa sinasabi nito ni Mr. Villanueva kasi early on I was checked by the chairman for taunting pero
Okay.
I submit.
May we remind all the resource persons to refrain from
I'm
saying,
sorry, Mr. Chair.
offending words. Thank you so
Sorry,
much,
Mr.
everybody.
Unang-una kasi, Mr. Chair, sabi ni yung mga previous statement ni Colonel Asierto, lumabas yung pangalan ni Michael Yang according to his informant noong 2016. Samantalang yung statement ni Las Cañas kanina nung pinapanood ko, seemingly, agad alam niya si Michael Yang nung sa Dumoy. Dumoy pa lang, alam na niya na may Michael Yang. Now, Mr. Chair, for 3 months of our surveillance operation, isang team lang ang kay Colonel Asierto doon, lahat ng team sa PDEA 11. Walang anino si Las Cañas doon. And definitely, we have not involved anybody outside of EDSOT, the team of Colonel Asierto, and my team, because this was a delicate anti-drug operation. So definitely, paano malalaman ni Las Cañas na may Michael Yang hindi nga niya alam na may anti-drug operation sa clandestine laboratory. Pangalawa, sir, sabi ni Mr. Trillanes, the clandestine laboratory was operating under my nose. Ibig sabihin, nagmamanufacture na ang mga in-check ng shabu na hindi ko nalalaman. Maling-mali yun, Mr. Chair. For 3 months, nag-start sila ng actual manufacture December 26. Dahil tuwing gabi, Mr. Chair, nasisilip namin yung ginagawa nila. So, noong December 29, naglalatag na, nagpapatuyo na sila ng shabu eh. That is, noong December 28. That is why on December 29, nag-apply na kami ng search warrant.
Okay, let me cut you off there, General. Sandali lang. You said the surveillance nyo sila for 3 months. Tama
Yes,
ba?
Mr. Chair.
So bakit nyo sinasurveillance for 3 months na 26 pa sila of December nag-start production?
Mr. Chair, for 3 months, nagse-set up eh. Bumibili ng mga material, ng mga equipment, isa-set up ang equipment. Nung nakumpleto na lahat ang equipment and chemicals na ipasok na lahat sa Dumoy Laboratory, December 26, they start manufacturing.
Kaya nga, sir, December 31 yung raid, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So 3 months before that, it would be December, November, October.
It started October 26, Mr. Chair.
October, nag-start na kayo ng surveillance.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Anong isa-surveil nyo kung hindi pa sila nagpuproduce ng drugs at that time?
Again, Mr. Chair, nag-start kami ng surveillance December 26 dahil binigyan kami ng
No, you said
information.
3 months before.
October 26,
Yes, sir.
dahil binigyan kami ng information ng USDEA na may paparating na Chinese chemist sa Davao City. Yun lang ang information, Mr. Chair. From the airport, nasundan namin hanggang dumating sila sa Arlene apartment. And from there, doon na kami nag-start ng follow kung saan pupunta itong mga to hanggang sa natumbok namin ang Dumoy Clandestine Laboratory.
Okay, so the surveillance started because of an information given that a chemist was going to Davao.
Yes, Mr.
Not
Chair.
because they were already producing drugs at that time.
No, Mr.
Not
Chair.
because the laboratory was already set up at that time.
Yes, Mr.
But
Chair.
only because of the raw information that a chemist was there supposedly
Exactly,
to
Mr.
start a laboratory.
Yes, Mr.
That's
Chair.
why 3 months. Kasi minamatch ko lang di ba? Sa akin kasi, if you look at it, no, parang I hope you forgive me,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
3 months before, anong i-surveillance mo kung wala pa nga yung laboratory? And anong i-surveillance mo kung hindi pa nga sila nagpo-produce ng droga na sinasabi natin?
Yes.
Di ba? That's what led to the raid nga di ba? The production of these drugs.
Yes,
So,
Mr. Chair.
Okay,
So,
continue.
dun sa 3 months na yun, sir, nakaka-follow kami dun sa Agdao na warehouse at dun sa Bunawan na kung saan naandun yung naandun yung air scrubber na malaki, Mr. Chair. They just started manufacturing December 26. So on the third day, nag-apply na kami ng search warrant dahil nagpapatuyo na sila ng shabu. So we applied December 29. We implemented December 31. That is 5 days, Mr. Chair. So, maling-mali yung sabi ni Mr. Trillanes na they are already manufacturing under my nose. They are setting up the laboratory na ando na po kami.
Okay. So sige.
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Trillanes, just let me finish my questioning with DG Villanueva. So sir, klaruhin natin, categorical lang na questions and then a short answer also. So hindi totoo na siguro kinover up mo ang some information to protect some of the personalities mentioned by Senator Trillanes.
Like, ano
It's
po
not
yun?
true na you protected or siguro kept information that would link Michael Yang.
Wala pong Michael Yang sa laboratory, Mr. Chair.
You did not keep information that would keep information about Sami Uy being involved in drugs.
Hindi ko kilala yon, Mr. Chair.
Hindi mo kilala si Sami
Hindi
Uy?
ko kilala si Sami Uy.
In Davao?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's pretty popular in Davao,
Sa drugs ako
nasa
nakatutok,
drugs.
Mr. Chair.
Kaya nga. Okay, but as a
Hindi ko
businessman,
kilala,
hindi mo
Mr.
kilala
Chair.
Sami Uy. Okay. Hindi mo kinontrol yung information as far as sino ba yung Charlie Tan is concerned.
Nababalitaan ko si Charlie Tan na siya yung may-ari ng ET.
ETKTV, yeah.
Yun lang, Mr. Chair.
But nothing that relates to the drugs.
Nothing.
Okay. So, again, Senator Trillanes, go ahead, sir.
well, unang-una, yung nire-refer natin, Mr. Chairman, about all of these things operating under his nose, yung Green Heights Subdivision. Tapos yung sinasabi ni Las Cañas, wala naman siyang sinabing part siya nung team nila. No? If only nakikinig siya doon sa interview, sinasabi niya, nandito siya sa side nila Duterte, dito siya, close in siya dito, nakita niya yung laro at galaw nila Sami Uy, Charlie Tan at Michael Yang. Dito siya sa part na to, tapos binigyan siya ng mission doon sa after nung raid to turn na sila ang magre-receive nung 11 galing sa tropa niya. So that was his first encounter with this guy. Kumaga, to clean up yung to cover up yung ano na nga yun, yung mess na yon kasi umabot na aabot kay Michael Yang. So doon siya, wala siya doon sa operating unit kasi part nga siya nung sindikato, double death squad ni Mr. Duterte. And ito yan, Mr. Chairman. This guy, ang tagal niya sa Davao, PIDEA, eventually naging Director General siya ng PIDEA. Tanungin siya kung sino yung mga drug lord nung mga malalaking shipment. I doubt kung sasabihin niya kung sino. Ito lang yung sa mga pulis, yung 990 kilos na shabu. Tanungin siya kung sino ang mastermind nun. Wala ka makukuha ang sagot. It's either incompetence or kasabwat. And I, because of the testimony of Las Cañas, kasabwat, Mr. Chairman. Ganun lang po yun.
Thank you, Senator Trillanes. Now, you also mentioned, Senator Trillanes, in your testimony, you mentioned Councilor Mola Villera kanina no, na siya yung sinasabi mong bagman.
Yes,
The thing I have, an issue that I have with this is, parang, walang links naman Bigla na lang sinasabi na just because there are photos of them together, then ma-assume ba na, come to a conclusion that he is involved?
Yan po, yung conclusion po na yan, Mr. Chairman, was born out of the investigation po dun sa Senado. That ito pong si Mr. Mark Taguba and other brokers kailangan magbigay ng enrollment fee kay Pulong at Manscarpio para maging accredited brokers sila nung pagpasok nila ng mga kontrabado, Mr. Chairman. At ang middleman na nagre-represent kay Mr. Pulong Duterte is si Mr. Small Abiliera. So lahat po itong mga information na to, yung pera na binibigay sa kanya lahat, galing po yan dun sa investigation po namin sa Senado, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, before I ask Councilor Abeliera, but isn't it also a fact that the witness that you're referring to, Mark Taguba, also recanted the testimony that he gave? Hindi ba siya nag-recant?
Wala pong recantation.
Walang recantation?
Opo.
So he's sticking to the allegations that he made of the involvement of some of the members of the presidential family in the previous administration?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as represented by Mr. Small Abiliera.